What's poppin', niggas? Today I'm gonna talk about masculinity, the energy behind it, the power of it, and all that shit. But before I get into that, please make sure to like the video and subscribe. Now, what is masculinity? When I was younger, I thought that masculinity was just being tough, and my idea of quote-unquote toughness was just being angry all the time, and that's not. That's actually feminine energy, but I can dive into that at a later point. And I decided I wanted to cover masculinity because that's something that's missing from the from YouTube and the YouTube sphere, and all that shit. And you always see shit about the divine feminine and femininity, and you always see masculinity demonized. We live in a world where society demonizes masculinity because masculinity is powerful as a motherfucker. And honestly, most men don't really know how to be men, and honestly, I'm still learning about masculinity. It's a journey, but I just felt the need to share the knowledge that I've learned so far. Masculinity and truly being a man has been something that's been resonated with me for like the past year. Now, what is masculinity? Masculinity is about purpose, about drive, respect, and protecting. You see, a true man in his true masculine form is somebody who isn't necessarily emotionless, but has his emotions under control. We are men. We are logical thinkers. We're not necessarily supposed to be as emotional as women. And that's not, and like I said before, that's not saying there's anything wrong with a man showing his emotions. But it's our job to be leaders. And I know that's something that's controversial in today's society, but it's the truth. Mastering, that's the first step of becoming a true masculine man, is mastering your emotions. Now, masculinity is also, it's the energy of conquerors. A man without a purpose is nothing. Masculinity is all about like having that oomph. And femininity isn't necessarily about this, I don't like using the word submissive because, it has a certain connotation behind it, but like, a leader, masculinity is leader energy. And when you're not on your purpose, you're just being lazy and you're not a man, basically. This stuff is very hard to put into words because it's an emotion. It's something that you feel. It's very hard to explain, but I'm gonna try to do my best. Now, it's also about respecting others, respecting yourself, because I feel like your body is a reflection of who you are as a person. But if you don't respect yourself, to expect other people to respect you, that's honestly delusional. Now, I'm saying this, and honestly, I don't got the best body. It look like I'm like 6 months pregnant right now. I ain't gonna show y'all my stomach, but a lot of the fuel behind the anti-men movement and feminism, I have my thoughts on that, but a lot of the reason for it is because, let's be real, there are a lot of shitty men out there. And it's because those men are too emotional. Like if a girl don't want who gives a fuck? There's plenty of women out there. Women are not like that, and they're the ones who are more emotional. And you never see a woman killing a man because a man rejected her. And that also that's respect, and that also ties back into having control over your own emotions, having self-control, being disciplined. Overall, the divine masculinity is about being on your purpose, respect, and conquering. It's not necessarily being a beast, but knowing you're capable of being the beast and taming it. It's about conquering not only the beast that's outside, but the beast within. That's why men and women don't necessarily get along as much as they should in modern days, because most men aren't necessarily tapped into their true masculinity, and most women aren't necessarily tapped into their true femininity. That's why do you think the most stereotypical things about the sexes are the most attractive? Like, for example, a man with a nice body is attractive to women. A woman who is truly feminine and not masculine is something that is attractive to men, because that's something that's natural. And that's how it's always been. And we aren't necessarily as evolved as we think we are. But that's all I have for right now. I might make a part 2 to this video, because there's actually a lot more stuff that I had to say, but I can't think of it right now off the top of my head. I'm not really super tapped in to the message like I was earlier. Or I've been more tapped in at different points. I'm not as tapped in right now. So yeah.